Story time on how I found out my dad was transgender. Also, by the way, at the time I was 12. So I grew up an only child. I always wanted siblings, but my parents said that I was enough. And we would never really go see family like my grandparents. When I was a toddler, I used to see them. Well, at least that's what my parents told me. But I was never close with any of my family besides my one aunt. So one day I had a sleepover and I invited my friend and we played hide and seek. And I spent like 10 minutes looking for her until I finally found her in my basement holding a book. I was like, girl, I'm done playing with you. And she said she found an old picture book. When she told me, I was kind of excited because I haven't seen much of my family. As we went through the book, I saw a picture of my grandparents and two little girls. One of the girls in the picture I knew was my aunt because of the mole, but I didn't know who the other girl was. I flipped the picture around and it said familia, which by the way is family in Spanish. And I was like, so there's another aunt that I don't know about? But if you want to know how I confronted my dad about it, come back for part 2. This is part 2 on how I found out my dad was transgender. So, like I said, I found a picture of my dad's family, but he wasn't in it. That night, I went to my parents' bedroom and I saw my mom. I showed her the picture and she gasped. I asked, do I have another aunt and where's dad? She told me to sit down and that they wanted to tell her, but they wanted to wait at an age where they think I'd understand. So, a couple minutes later, my dad walked in and I asked, who's this girl? He sat next to me, held my shoulders, and said that was him. And I started laughing at first because I was like, you're not a little girl. And he responded, at that time, that was me. And from there, he just told me everything. To when he finally transitioned, he talked about how unaccepting my grandparents were, which is partially why I really don't go see them. After everything my dad told me, I just sat there and cried for him. And my mom and dad both held me and told me everything was going to be fine. It's been 9 years and I have so much more respect for my dad, no matter what anyone thinks.